What's up, guys? Are you ready for a short non-news podcast?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figure what's the point? Comic-Con is like happening right now, and all the big panels are gonna start tomorrow and the next day. It's Thursday now before Comic-Con. So there's gonna be some news items here, but like it's gonna seem irrelevant because I'm sure a bunch of stuff's gonna drop tomorrow probably. So
Yeah.
we're just gonna have a nice little chat. How about that?
I like to sit down.
All right, let's do it on the podcast. I've got I'm Jordan. And I've got Carrie
Howdy.
and Andrew.
What's up?
Nothing much. Let's go ahead and get right into it because we have two podcasts we're putting out today. We're doing this a regular episode, and we're also doing a Terminator spoiler cast for Terminator Genesis.
Spoiler cast.
Oh, that's it. I thought it was going to be an entire song. All right, whatever. Let's go ahead and go into what we've been watching / playing. Carrie, you want to start us off this week?
Sure. Knights of Sidonia season 2 came out, I think, last week. I don't know if anyone knows about that show, but it came out last season or last year, and it's technically they considered it one of the best animes to come out in a very long time, which because the story didn't like leave you with all of this like just long methodical let's pause and think about it. It was like quick story, quick action, like everything was balanced out very well.
Not a lot of filler.
There's no filler. It's just quick, keeping up with action. Season 2 started off really great, and it's just moving really fast, and it's not bad fast, but good. Like, oh yeah, you just every episode you just want to keep watching it. I have to force myself to go to sleep at night. So
Is that a Netflix original or is that
Netflix original?
Okay. Nice.
I saw the first couple episodes of it, and I really liked it. It was one of those shows where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really good. Do I continue now or do I watch it later? That was a mistake. I could have probably just watched it all in that one afternoon, on that particular afternoon. It was like a lazy Saturday. But yeah, it was really good. How's the second season compared to the first?
Just a lot more action.
Oh, wow.
A lot more action. It's like the first season, I mean, they were filling you in, briefing you on everybody, kind of laying the groundwork. And near the end, it just was going. Second season picks up going, and it just runs. So.
It reminded me a lot, like just watching like both the art style and the mechs they use. It reminded me of Zone of the Enders.
Yes.
If, anyone remembers that game, which I'm
actually fond of. That's actually the best example of it. That's exactly what I thought at first. I was like, oh, this is a Zone of the Enders game.
Yeah, but instead of fighting like other mechs, they're actually fighting like monsters or like
the Ghana is what
Ghana,
they call
yeah. It was actually really scary.
the concept of it, yes, is terrifying, of the Ghana.
What else have you been watching / playing this week?
I think it's J-Star Victory versus, it's like all the Jonin jump characters like Naruto, Kurosaki Ichigo, One Piece, a bunch of characters I've never even heard of. But it's just, the good thing about the game is it's got like 4 like story modes, and depending on which one you start in, you'll start with someone completely different. Like the one I'm doing right now, I start off with like Ichigo, and you're going around. It's like everyone's going to some tournament in this story mode.
They've kind of constructed a story that will like facilitate all of these anime heroes being in the same world. Okay.
Exactly. And I mean, I haven't got to play it much. The fighting style is very odd.
Yeah,
I can't explain it. I just know when I first bought it and heard about it, my friend's like, hey, dude, you should go get this game. Goku's in it. I was like, wait, what? Goku's in this game with Naruto and Bleach and all these other characters? I was like, well, sweet, I have to go buy it. So I just ran out and bought it. But the funny thing about it is it's like, I just did the versus mode for like the first half an hour. I was like, oh, let me get used to the fighting. And I was like, holy crap, it took me a while to get used to it.
Wow, that's weird. We were really into like fighters and like anything that's like a brawler, so it's weird to have something that's like that takes you a while.
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing about it that was different was the blocking, because it's like you had to hold the block button, like you couldn't be attacking and then hit block. It was you hit block, then you break out of it, and then you go fighting. So it's like it's a very I can see where skill plays a lot into this game and just understanding it. Your hyper combos are pretty much they're a big thing. So.
Classic. It's gonna be Kamehameha for Goku.
Well, Goku's actually like that Spirit Bomb, Kamehameha,
okay.
where he changes into Super Saiyan and like finishes it off.
Oh my!
So yeah, it's pretty crazy. But every fighter has a different style. Apparently, there's like stats that you can do. So there's a lot of characterization in between these characters. I can't wait to actually really dive into it. I've really been playing Arkham Knight mostly, so yeah, haven't gotten that much into Star versus.
How far into that are you?
Story mode says I'm about 30-40%. I'm doing a lot of side missions. I love that Batmobile. That Batmobile is the funnest thing in the world to drive around and just take out people with. So, but the story, insane. I'm not gonna say anything about it, but let's just say that story is crazy.
Chomping at the bit to play it, man. Just, But cool. How about you, Andrew? What have you been watching / playing?
We started watching Suits.
Great show.
Yeah. I'd seen the first few episodes, and Taylor and I started watching through it, and it's really smart. It's a fun show. It doesn't make you think at all, which is, I think, maybe at least at this juncture of the show in the first season. So it's not like really on the list of something I would call one of my favorite shows, but at the same time, it's smart, it's well written, it's a classic USA show. Royal Pains, white collar, Suits. They're all these classy, really smart, witty people who go around insulting each other. It's basically the male version of like Gilmore Girls. You know what I mean? Like they're just like ranting back and forth and smart banter, which I enjoy. So been doing that. Saw Terminator Genesis, which we are doing a spoiler cast about immediately following this podcast. So if you're watching live, stay tuned. And I won't say anything else about that movie. Nope, not going to say anything.
Don't you do it.
I've actually been watching quite a few trailers recently, just trailers for movies that I'm super excited about. I saw a clip from Ant-Man, and I think Ant-Man has the potential to be incredible. Or the worst movie of all time.
What? Yeah, either one, I guess.
It's Marvel's downfall.
I feel like us three are probably the most excited. I know Joe and Luke are a lot more skeptical. I think it looks different, and I'm excited. Next
Paul
week,
Rudd. I trust Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I think he'll be great. So yeah.
I think that like it's got such a good combo of like characters, and the fact that like, okay, we've got Agent Carter in there, and we've also got Howard Stark is in there. I'm interested to see what the story is,
Yeah.
And like where they're going with the story and how they're going to really connect it, because they always connect them, and it'll be interesting to see how they do that. For sure. What about you, Jordan? What have you been watching and playing and thinking about?
I've been like all the stuff. It's I've been watching and playing a lot, but a lot of it I don't have a lot to say on. Surprisingly, I know it's like what pigs can fly, I guess. But I watched the first episode of True Detective. I don't have a darn thing to say about it. I don't know where they're going yet. All I have to say is Vince Vaughn.
Season 2?
Season 2, yeah. And all I have to say about it is Vince Vaughn is he doing a bad job? I don't know. I can't tell yet. I think I need to see him do more. Right now, I'm getting that vibe, like that I'm acting vibe, to where it's like, you're very aware that he's acting, whereas like Colin Farrell, I'm just kind of like, yeah, he's, that's his character or whatever. But like Vince Vaughn, I'm very aware that he's acting. I don't know if it's because I'm paying really close attention to him yet and being like, all right, Vince, let's see if you're cut out for this sort of thing. But I don't know. I think time will tell as I get more absorbed into the story. But yeah, I mean, it's all right so far. I didn't really have much to say about the first episode of season 1 of True Detective either. So it was kind of didn't quite get going yet. I just say the same things. It seems like they're doing a lot with character, and it seems like they're really good at filming things and filming whatever city / podunk town they're in. But yeah,
that is interesting, because like these like networks and these things that are like buying more than just a pilot, Like, it seems like that is a reoccurring theme where the first episode isn't necessarily, anything to really write home about, but they build and build and build, and they crescendo like 7th, 8th episode, and then by the 13th, you're like freaked out, But on network television, the pilot has to be incredible, or you're going to get canceled.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how the difference, you can really build story more with the job security of, we paid you for this season, so do it.
Yeah.
Instead of like Constantine, how the like season premiere of that was really good, and then like they started doing like building things, and it lost its momentum, and like people had a terrible time slot, and they had to say, hey, guess what, you're only getting half a season and that's it, you're canceled. So that sucks for them, but it's good for True Detective. Been playing a few things. I've been playing The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt for the Xbox One. That game, I'm kind of mixed on it on certain aspects, but kind of blown away on others. For me, I'm not sure yet. I don't know. I can't tell if I'm just sucking at it and I need to get better, but the combat, I'm not sure if I like it yet. I feel like with this character, I should be amazing. Like, to some extent, like, feel like I'm awesome, kind of like you do in the Arkham games and like you do in Shadow of Mordor. But I feel kind of wonky, and I feel like I'm just kind of getting the crap out of me, which is unfortunate because in the tutorial is set up at the beginning in the really weird way to where you're training someone else. You're like training a kid, and he's like, this kid's all awesome, and you're like, sloppy. The character's like saying all these things, and then when it's time to actually play the game, I'm like, I don't know how to play yet. And so it's like, why do I feel like I'm such an idiot playing this game and I suck when I'm supposed to be the one in the story who's amazing? And so it's kind of weird. But to say something really good about the game, they're setting up a really good world. I can already tell. Something like about the game is like, I'm not as much looking forward to the combat stuff, which the combat's not bad. The combat's fine. Really, it is fine. As I said, it reminds me of Kingdom Hearts and just the control scheme. It's very similar, but like the story and like the character stuff is really cool. They put a lot of attention into, one, the scripting, two, facial animation. And so the best looking part of the game is the facial animation and the characters and how they look, and the voice acting is very good. So like, I actually enjoy talking to these characters. It seems like there's a lot of freedom in like ways you want to interact with these characters. Like, I had to do something to like get herbs, and there's one herbologist lady or whatever, and you have it's one of those games where you have the options to like what to say and like where to take the conversation. And so I wanted to learn more about her, and so like I could have ended the conversation, but I was like, where do you come from? And she like told me. And then like after I went like deeper and deeper in the conversation, she like gave me an option to like help her. And even then, like, it was completely optional. It was weird. I actually wanted to. And so I like went way out of my way in the game to like help this old like herbologist lady. But anyways, it's cool. That's pretty much as far as I've gotten. And I'm definitely going to play it more for sure. It's got me. I have barely anything to say about this because it just came out Tuesday, but it was a free game on PlayStation Plus on the PlayStation 4. It's a really unassuming game called Rocket League. It sounds about as juvenile as what I'm about to describe to you. This game is soccer played with turbocharged cars to where it's not realistic at all. It's very much an arcadey game where it reminded me a lot of Rumble Racing, how you're like flipping turbo boosting all over the place. You can like ride on the walls and a little bit on the ceiling, and like you can jump a little bit, kind of like Speed Racer, how they jump in Speed Racer. And like, it's really fun. Like, I was so shocked at how well this game, when controlled and felt playing it. It's a lot of fun. So if you have a PlayStation
soccer,
it's a giant soccer ball on a field where you're kind of like in this dome, but with 3-versus-3, bunch of cars, turbo boosting. Like, you can customize your car, but the customization is only aesthetic. They didn't want to change up the balancing, so all the cars control just the same. It's really fast. It's just a lot of fun. Try it out, Carrie. And Joseph, he has PlayStation 4 too. It's free, so why not?
Sure.
The only thing is it's an independent game that was picked up by Sony. They're doing that a lot now, but it seems that the online isn't working, so they need to. They got flooded. Their servers got flooded, so they obviously need to get more servers. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that more. Lastly, I don't have much to say about this, but I'm really excited I got to watch it. Dragon Ball Super. I watched the first episode of this. For me, this is a big deal. Like Dragon Ball is like a relic of the past almost, but it's still there. They're still making video games of it, and I feel like now that they're making this new series, it's a big deal. And I'm gonna check it out. Like I'm not over it, and so like it's weird. I don't have much to say about it, but I feel like I like what they're doing. A lot of people I feel like are going to be turned off by it because in this first episode, nothing happens. It's all just like
filling, basically. Hey, this is what's been going on.
There's like a hint of like, what's to come and stuff. And, but it's a lot kind of like seeing where the characters are, seeing like it's kind of goofy still. But you know what? That's kind of what Dragon Ball Z was. Dragon Ball GT was like this rushed. It was really like rushed, and it was like a fan.
It's like a rugged version of. It's like, yeah, we're serious now about it.
Yeah,
like,
we're not gonna waste time with pesky things like pacing or characters or anything like that.
Instead, we'll just fly through a story, which is ridiculous. The story they put out, but
have like character transform 4 times in like 2 episodes. Yeah,
exactly.
But so far, I'm really liking it. The animation's gorgeous. It's cool seeing an anime where, like, it's cool seeing Dragon Ball Z. Looking like this good in like a show form.
Can't wait to watch it later.
Yeah, it's really just like fun, and you can tell they're building up towards something, and it's gonna be. I'm looking forward to watching it week by week, because like with Naruto, the filler annoys me because it's like they stop dead in their tracks to focus on something you obviously don't want to focus on in the middle of like a war. And this, it's obviously they're building, and so I don't know. I'm interested in it for sure. It's definitely still cutesy, and if Dragon Ball Z or whatever was never your thing, this is definitely not going to be your thing. Still, it's the same show. If that's sort of, we're going to talk about anime a lot this week, man. When the cats are out to play or whatever. But yeah, that's all I got to say about it. I'm just looking forward to watching it more. So yeah, let's go ahead and go right into movie news. Not a lot of news this week. I didn't put a lot because I'm anticipating the craziness that's going to happen to us next week when Comic-Con happens. So first up, this is probably the biggest news we have, and it is actually pretty big news. They've confirmed what one of the Star Wars spin-off movies is going to be. A Han Solo prequel movie directed by Lord and Miller, the directors of Lego Movie, and it seems like a ton of upcoming stuff. This is interesting. I'm gonna be honest. I'm every time I hear a prequel, I don't get excited. I'm sorry. Like, it's one of those things. It's like, it can be good, but I'm not excited about this really. What do you guys think?
I mean, I don't know really how to feel, because it's like, as you said, it's a prequel. I mean, Wolverine, I remember everyone was excited. They're like, oh yeah, the Wolverine, all these prequels, and they thought it was going to be really good. And it's like, it seemed really cheesy.
Oh yeah, it's a task, I think, to name good prequels over, how many terrible prequels there are out there. I don't know. What do you think, Andrew?
No. The prequel is a very hard thing to do and to pull off, and I think it's even harder to do. Like, Wolverine is kind of like one of those characters that's on a scale of 1 to 10, probably like a 7 of notoriety. Han Solo is like a 10.
Yeah.
It's so easy to mess it up. I don't know. And you're putting the project in the hands of someone who made a movie about a child's game. Granted, it was an amazing movie, but like, this is Han Solo. Why? I don't know. I know there's probably a big demographic of people that would want to see it, and all 3 of us are going to go see it. But I'm just like Carrie. I'm so skeptical.
Yeah, it's hard for me to be excited about any prequel, much more, something that has so much weighing upon it. It's going to be difficult to do this. A lot's going to depend on casting. Jeez, what big shoes to fill. I wouldn't want to play this. I would not want to do it. That's crazy to fill Harrison Ford's shoes.
If you can pull it off, though, you just became a legend.
Then you are a king.
You have like a 10-year, like everyone wants you.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like what we can expect story wise, I'm sure there's like some stuff involving Jabba maybe. But one thing that I find interesting is how all the expanded universe stuff before the announcement of actually preceding the announcement of episode 7 got wipes. So like most of that book stuff is gone. Like they're considered legends, meaning things that could have happened, but it's not exactly canon. But everything going on now in the comics, video games, TV is canon explicitly. And recently in comic book, we found out that Han Solo had a wife. And so that's gonna be, for people who don't know that or unaware, it's gonna be a controversial thing, and that comes up, and it's if it's not done well. So that's gonna be interesting. I'm very intrigued, of course.
I mean, we can throw out real quick some names of people that we think could potentially fill the shoes of Harrison Ford. Yeah. What do you guys think?
You know what? I think Chris Pratt should play Harrison Ford, Star-Lord, the Harrison Ford from Indiana Jones. And, hey, Indiana Jones. I'm just kidding. No, Chris Pratt, I don't want him to play Indiana Jones or Han Solo. He's met his rogue character quota. Do not go over this. Yeah. Please don't do that.
100%.
He's already Han Solo.
Yeah, he really is. Just of a different universe. It's just he's already done that. But I think that either somebody relatively unknown, kind of like, well, he wasn't completely unknown, but when Chris Pine came on the scene to do Star Trek, he'd been in a couple things, but man, he crushed that. And I think that somebody who could potentially pull off, hear me out, and this is a little bit of a man crush also. So it's kind of like, this guy, just everything he's in, I like. But I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt could pull this off.
Interesting.
And I just like, if you close your eyes for a split second and you visualize if you visualize the guy with a blaster yelling at Chewie, running down something, freaking out, they have very similar, like, I don't know. I think that he could pull it off. I don't think that he'll do it. I think it'll be somebody that we have never heard of, or Harrison Ford.
Or just Harrison Ford with young face, kind of like Xavier from X-Men 3.
Yeah.
He's just made yelling with CGI, or maybe Arnold in Terminator Genesis. But I think unknown is the way to go.
Yeah.
As much as I do agree with you on Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I mean, I just thought about listening to him scream in what was the movie?
Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Yes, maniacs! You killed us! You killed us! You blew us up!
Yeah, it's like I pictured that, and I'm just like, no, never mind.
Think he's gonna do that in Star Wars?
Exactly. I'll just be waiting for it.
Jabba, you killed my wife! How can you do it, you maniacs?
Yeah.
I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt too, Andrew. I do a lot.
Yeah. He's the first person that came to mind, but even like our favorite young actor, Harrison Ford in his prime, nobody can touch that. You can't touch that.
I haven't seen. There's nothing like it really, and there hasn't been anything like it really since. It's only been emulated. It's never been like actually reproduced.
Yeah,
but
the closest thing was probably the Guardians of the Galaxy. Chris Pratt just had the swagger,
Yeah,
but even still, it was very different. That I'm not going to take anything away from that performance. That was really good too. But we'll see. I mean, we'll probably get an announcement relatively soon. Who knows? Maybe by D23, Disney's little expo or whatever. We'll see. I don't know. Yeah. But anyways, a little bit I thought of interesting casting. I think this is very interesting and for some reason, I can't explain why I like it. Marissa Tomei is playing Aunt May in the new Spider-Man continuity. You might know her from movies like My Cousin Vinny and maybe what's that? Crazy Stupid Love. I don't know. She's been in tons of movies, but I like this. I don't know why. I feel like they're just going younger and younger. And if you have such a young Peter Parker, I feel like it makes sense that it's a young Aunt May. I mean, what would like if like Peter Parker's mom like had Peter Parker and like she has this really old sister? Like it just kind of feels weird to me to her. Like with Tobey Maguire, it seemed like right, but I don't know. Tobey Maguire seemed 30, so
yeah,
I don't know.
Seem really like a young guy.
Yeah, so if they have someone as young as Tom Holland, I feel like that's fine. I like her as an actress. I feel like, I mean, she was great in My Cousin Vinny. I don't know. In the Ultimate comics, Aunt May is much younger, or was much younger. I don't know. It'll be fine. I think. What do you guys think of this?
Trying to get a look at her.
Yeah, I've always liked her in most things she's been in. She has I don't know. She's not in a lot these days. She's usually relegated to some sort of side character, unlike back in the 90s where she was in much more.
Where she was in,
I think it's a good, casting choice. It's kind of like when, Batman Begins happened and some of the like choices they made in casting. I remember thinking like, I don't know. I mean, it's such a different direction from what we've seen in the past. We've never seen a kid this young play Spider-Man, and we've never seen a girl this young play Aunt May. But, I like that it's a different direction, and I think it's smart because there wasn't like a huge differentiation between Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield's. It was just like a little variance. And he was a little bit younger, and like a little bit geekier. That's it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of other things, but
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's different. It's fresh. I think it's what it needs to be because I feel like a lot of people were really frustrated at the similarities between the Sam Raimi Spider-Man and the Mark Webb one. I'm going to be honest right here, right now. I didn't like the Aunt May in the original Spider-Man trilogy.
Yeah.
I don't know why. She annoyed me. She's always a speech with this lady. I'm just like, shut up. That whole thing with like we raise our heroes up. Ben needed those heroes. We need them. And the whole thing about you talk about the ring. He held up the ring. I thought it was the sun. I'm like, shut up! Get out of the movie! Stop it! And at least with Sally Field, she's an amazing actress.
Yeah, you love her. She's like that mom. You're like, yeah, you're cool.
Yeah, she's always freaking out.
I don't think there was any character in hindsight, like watching through the movies. I think they were all about the same. Like they were all bad. Like probably the best character in those movies was no. I was about to, but
I was about to say.
Wait, what were you about to say?
I wasn't about to say anything. Okay.
All right.
Now I was like,
as long as it wasn't Mary Jane. I was about to say
no.
Okay.
I was about to say like James Franco.
That's
I thought it was hilarious. But
the second one, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was fun. But in that third one,
third one just made me laugh.
He went crazy. No, he went insane.
Yeah,
both on and off screen. I think.
Well, he was filming Pineapple Express at the same time, so he just was like, "Why the heck not?"
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't think that overlapped. I don't think that. Yeah, exactly.
That's where he went to his crazy wild side. Now that he goes,
I wish someone would just bop me on the head, Carrie. So stupid. I hate that part in the movie. Anyways, cool.
I'm excited about the new Spider-Man.
Absolutely.
The main reason why though is because this kid seems excited that he's playing Spider-Man. It's like, who goes? It's like, yeah, watch me do these flips and post it on Instagram and all these things. It's like, yes, that's when I want to play a hero, someone that fully embracing it.
Yeah, that's the thing I feel like with Marvel Studios opposed to like Sony. I feel like they're way more business, and that's fine. It makes sense. And same thing with WB. They're more like, all right, we're making this movie. We're very professional. But like, there's a lot of fanboys in Marvel, and that excitement usually bleeds onto the movie. James Gunn is such a huge fan of Guardians of the Galaxy. Even Peyton Reed. That's what excites me about Ant-Man. He's such a fan of Ant-Man, and that makes me excited. And to have all these fans of Spider-Man who are like, and fans of Marvel and comic books running the boat, it's contagious. I feel like that, like, fun and excitement just translates so well to the screen.
It's ingredients to a great movie.
Yeah, and every single time I hear if there's any sort of a dispute on set, that's when you can kind of see it in the Marvel movies. With like Thor 2 and Iron Man 2, apparently there like wasn't a good relationship between the director and Marvel. That's when it like, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Little bit here. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I don't really have much to say at all about it, but I thought I'd bring it up. There's been a bunch of photos released from the new the female-led Ghostbusters movie with Melissa McCarthy. And there's several things. One, the proton packs, which look great. The Ecto 1, which is like what's one of those cars, those old cars, I'm sorry, that have like the wood panel, usually station wagon. Yeah, it's a station wagon. Looks like crap, so that's good. I don't know about the uniform though. The uniforms look weird to me because they're like gray, but they have like yellow stripes on them, and I don't know. It just looks weird to me, like little thin yellow stripes on like places. It just looks weird. It makes it look more like a fireman outfit or something.
Like a toxic hazard suit.
Yeah. It's not a big deal. It's just a couple stripes. It's not going to matter if the movie's good, but it's just, we're talking about pictures here, and that's what I'm saying. So we have Melissa McCarthy in the suit, and she's looking really geeky. She has like the glasses on and her little ponytail, and so I don't know. Apparently Spy was really good. I didn't see it. I'm not a Melissa McCarthy fan per se, but apparently that was good. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. People, I don't know. I feel like people are so divided when it comes to like that style of humor that like I'm pretty sure I will hate Ghostbusters. Like I'm pretty sure that I won't be able to. There'll be pieces of it that I like, but they probably won't be pieces that Melissa McCarthy is in, because I think that she's abrasive, and I think that she's like, oh.
Where she like just falls, and that's like her joke. She falls a lot, and
she falls a lot, and she makes fun of herself. It's like,
yeah, it just gets old.
I'm not a fan, but Chris Hemsworth. I mean, Thor's in it, so it can't be that bad, right?
I don't have high expectations for this, because like people go around saying they're gonna ruin Ghostbusters and everything it was. Come on, there was one movie that was amazing. I love the first Ghostbusters, always will. And a second movie that was fine. It was fine. It wasn't like we have this grand trilogy like Star Wars or Back to the Future or something like that is getting remade here. You have thoughts on this?
I think.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, you go.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think Ghostbusters was one of those things that like it's like a relationship that you think back on and you're like, wow, we had some good times. You know what I mean? But then when you really think back, it's like, no, wait, we didn't. It's Ghostbusters is one of those things that I think way higher of it than it should be thought of in general. I mean,
yeah, it's like we had some great times. That first movie was so great. Then we don't think about on the second one. We don't think, but I kind of like the cartoon. But yeah, a bunch of bad video games. I don't know. We don't have that. They're not clinging to much. It's like they're clinging to the very little of that one movie.
It's like a cult classic, but it like is accidentally a cult classic because people like the title. I don't know. It's.
What about you, Karen?
I only really like the first one. Like I've watched the other ones, and I'll watch them if it's on, and I've got nothing better to do. But overall, it really is a cult classic, like you say. I feel like there's just diehard fans for it, and who doesn't like Dan Aykroyd and the whole rest of the gang? They were great. So I don't have any high expectations. I probably will see it. But going back to Melissa McCarthy, I feel like all her movies are the same. So it's like It's like a spy. I'm like, even if it does say it's good, I'm like,
The trailers, watching the
it's
trailers, I was like, this looks unbearable.
yeah.
But
I'm like, I might accidentally see it. That's
Yeah.
about as good as that'll go. I have one thing though. Did anyone see the new what is it? Goosebumps trailer?
yes, I did. I the trailer didn't get me. The idea gets me.
Mhm.
I was a fan of Goosebumps as a kid, and believe it or not, like Jack Black's one of those comedians. Even though he's in so many bad movies, I like Jack Black.
Mhm.
I really do. Like the movies that he is like that are good that he's in.
School of Rock was great.
School of Rock, even like movies like that get forgotten, like Shallow Hal. It's a good movie. It's funny, but yeah. I mean, I don't really know. It looks okay to me, the trailer, but like it could be good. It could be a really good family movie. It looks like it reminds me a lot of like Jumanji, like that whole thing. Which I don't know, but we'll see. I just hope I get a lot of good references from the stories, but I don't know. We'll see. That's all I can say because the trailer didn't grab me, but like hearing about the movie, I was like, "Ooh, I'm looking forward to that." So
I mean, this is really the first. Like I've heard of it, but I was like, "Wait, who's in it?" And then Jack Black, and I was like, "Oh, let's see this trailer." I was like, "Oh, okay." It's like maybe I'll wait till I see more, but I'm like, "Yeah, it's like Jack Black's in it, so I probably will see it."
Yeah, exactly. It looks like it might be good. Who knows? It doesn't look so terrible. The trailer didn't look terrible or anything. It just looked fine. Did you see the trailer?
I saw like some photos. I saw the like thing on IMDb come up about there being a trailer, and I like toggled through it on my way to something else.
Was like,
but
yeah, I mean,
it's
Ant-Man
got
trailer again.
Exactly. I just watched that clip like 80 times, but I don't know. Jack Black, I agree with you guys. He's kind of one of those hit and miss guys. I think he's really funny in pretty much anything he does, but the movies are usually bad but hey, Jack Shepherd, Matthew Fox, his son in Lost is in this.
Yeah, that's
so,
right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the Ice Kid or whatever from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows? It looks like I miss kind of like those family.
No one.
I miss the like family horror movies that come out, like Hocus Pocus. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's the only one I can think of.
What, Halloween Town?
No, not Halloween Town. I don't miss that crap. Anyways, we don't have a trailer.
Halloween Town.
I remember seeing that commercial on Disney Channel just constantly, and me just being like, "Oh." But Carrie, this whole stuff about things being remade kind of leads into your question. What's your movie question?
My movie question is pretty much with all the reboots coming out and happening. What movies do you not want to see them ever touch? Which ones do you want them to touch, and which ones are you glad that they redid?
Okay. A lot to say about this one. I think obviously it's the nature of the question. You leave Back to the Future alone.
Exactly. That's exactly how
I think even Zemeckis, like he even said, like, as long as I'm alive, they won't do it. So like, he was like, I'll be dead before they make a reboot of Back to the Future or a sequel even. Yes, leave it alone. Like, those are three amazing movies, and I think it's a special place in time. You can remake it, and you might be able to come up with something fun, but
no,
probably not. Like, probably not. Those are special movies. Like, that's the thing. Those are special movies. Like, you can try, and similar things can happen, but I don't think you can recapture that magic, possibly. But I keep saying that over a lot of movies, and then they end up doing something different, like Jurassic World, that I liked. But which ones?
Which ones are you glad?
Are you glad that they did? A remake? You mean like? Are you mean to say like a remake or a reboot? Like what?
I would say a reboot.
A reboot, like they're kind of like Mad Max, like they're just pumping new life into the franchise, or like Incredible Hulk, or an Amazing Spider-Man and this new Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay, reboots. Oh man, I don't know. Do you got anything? I'm trying to think of ones that
when I thought about it, I really had a hard time finding one that I was like, yeah, that's one I'm glad they did. It was more so the ones that are controversial, because my question really came about because I was just looking through it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the new one that's coming out with Stephen Amell, Arrow, and the whole thing is a lot of people were upset that they redid the Ninja Turtles, and now that they're still going, a lot of people are upset about that apparently. And so I was like, well, let me think about it. Am I upset that they're going back? And I was like, well, I did love the originals, but I mean, it's kind of like Ghostbusters. It was only like 1, 2. I didn't really care when they just kept going.
That's the
And
thing.
so-
People are so quick to say you're ruining my childhood. I hate when I hear that phrase with a passion. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about your fond memories of one movie, which you might pop in every 1 or like 5 years and get nostalgic and then never watch it or think about it again, other than this idea you have of it in your head. Just like what Andrew was saying about that old girlfriend, you have memories of the good times, but you forget all the bad times. There's so many bad Ninja Turtle stuff. And while me and you are maybe the only 2 people that I know that have like that had, we didn't love this new movie, but like we're like, it's fine, you know, like, and not like it's good, but it's fine, it's serviceable, it has some fun parts, and a sequel could be a lot better. There's so many people who hate it and say it's ruining my childhood. I don't want it. There's kids out there who possibly do like it. I mean, it's fine. A lot of that stuff like that, I'm just like, do it. Just do it. It doesn't matter. A lot of times it doesn't matter. There's things you don't touch, and there's things that you definitely should, but there's also things that I'm like, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if they keep making Transformers movies. They're based off, I mean, have you guys watched that old cartoon? There's some fun parts, but it's like crazy. It's not that good. It's like that 80s movie, not good movie. It's nostalgic because all the fun 80s rock music that's in it, but it's not a good movie. It's terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like G.I. Joe the cartoon. No one ever gets shot.
Not good. Not
Bullets
good at
are
all.
flying everywhere. Planes are crashing. Yet they're not being touched.
Yeah.
Fun. Make it it's like these. It's like the funny thing about this is like all the stuff that like we liked as kids. It's like these people are now directors and producers. They have like, it's almost like our generation. We have the keys to the kingdom, and then like the floodgates are open. All the stuff we liked as kids, it's coming. I'm baffled that there's not a Thundercats movie because it's coming. I'm sure it's unstoppable.
I'm sure. Or He-Man.
He-Man, it's coming. Well, yeah. But glad they did. Here's a good one that surprised me fully of a good reboot and kind of a good prequel. The Planet of the Apes movies. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, I think are very, very good movies. And it's amazing that they're so good. I think it's so surprising. How about you? How about you guys? I'm done.
I would like to see Disney go into, there's like specific like era. I don't know if you got, I don't know if you guys definitely know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
And it's this era of movies that all happened, like, I don't remember when. It was probably like late 50s through the 60s.
All right, here we go. Swiss Family Robinson.
Yes.
Treasure Island.
Escape to Witch Mountain.
Yeah.
Like
movies,
movies that are in that. Like, I feel like enough time has passed. You know, it's kind of like, okay, Amazing Grace was awesome. Now let's make a bunch of versions about it because it's been 100 years. That's great. Let's do the same thing with like that generation of movies. You know what I mean? Like, it's screaming and begging for this generation to see those stories.
I would love to see a Swiss Family Robinson movie.
I'd
love that.
Yeah. I just hope they don't make it too childish, because I think they try to do a Space Mountain reboot with The Rock, and it's like, I'm like, no, it's different feel, completely different feel.
It was kind of a nothing movie, but I feel like they like kind of gave up on that because they kind of tried a little bit back in the day. I think it happened more in the early 2000s, late 90s, where they tried to make My Favorite Martian. They tried to make The Shaggy Dog and a Herbie Fully Loaded, but that's kind of like a different thing. We're like, a lot of the literature-based ones, I feel like would be great if Disney revisited those. I feel like that would be fantastic.
I have to admit, Tron
I love
Tron Legacy
I know a lot of people
was.
don't.
I don't understand how or why not. That is one of the revamps or reboots, whatever you want to call it. Revamping really, but that movie was great. I mean, that's the whole reason why I actually like 3D was because of that movie.
That movie was
Yeah.
something special, I think. But a lot of
It was awesome. Apparently, wiser minds than ours think not.
Yeah.
But
can't argue.
yeah,
guess so.
I think if you got, you know, same look and feel of like these Pirates of the Caribbean movies, you know, and you stop making Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Yeah.
Good heavens. They're like, it's like Transformers. I mean, you're going to keep making them because tons of pubescent children are still going to go see them, including us. So frustrating. It's like, and I can't deny those movies, really. I mean, I can't deny the Transformers movies. Like, even the one with Marky Mark, I was like, this movie's not good, but heck, it's good. You know?
Oh, that movie.
It was a train wreck.
Oh, yeah.
It was a train wreck.
Flaming piece of rubbish. But, yeah, I mean, spectacle, man. If you can make a good trailer, have enough spectacle in a movie to make a good trailer, it's going to get people in the seats most of the time.
Yeah.
Except with Lone Ranger, I guess. But all right, let's move on to some TV news. Good question. Not a lot here, but something I thought was cool and kind of expect a little bit, but Elektra has been casted in season 2 for Daredevil. I don't know this actress very well, Elodie Young. She was in the
G.I.
Joe
Retaliation.
sequel. Yeah, she was like one of the Ninja Girls. She was the one who was like on the cliff with snake eyes or whatever. Not a good movie, but that's I'm glad they're casting Elektra and they're casting someone who has some good physical ability, it seems. So that's cool. But
so good. I thought for sure they were gonna go with Jennifer Garner, but you know,
that would have been something. I feel like I'm just glad it's gonna happen, man. All these stories that like haven't been done justice. The Elektra story is so good in Daredevil comics, but it's not done justice in that movie as well as I wanted. As we said, I think us three are like the only people who think that movie is okay, and can enjoy it. But man, we making us sound like we have like the worst taste in the world. There's movies we don't like, people. Trust me, there's movies I hate. But I don't know. I feel like I can get enjoyment out of a lot. But anyways, that's cool that she's in there and it's gonna happen. And I'm just excited to see it unfold for sure. Yeah, not much to say there, I guess. My TV question, since I was watching Dragon Ball Super, I was thinking, you know, what got us and most of us who are into anime in America into anime. And what that is, I think, a huge contributor to that is Cartoon Network's anime run called Toonami. People who remember that it's probably the first place you did see Dragon Ball Z.
Definitely.
If I had to guess, it was definitely the first place that I got plugged into. I remember just being a daily thing throughout the week.
You get home from school, you wait till, was it 4:30, 5 o'clock is when it started?
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
And man, and so my question is, what are your best Toonami memories? Either like the best shows that were introduced to you through Toonami or just the best aspects of what Toonami was. They tried to bring it back here. They tried to bring it back to like Adult Swim on Saturday nights. That doesn't work the same. Toonami isn't a place, I don't think, where like you grow up and then like you watch it on the weekends to like feel like a kid again. That was the place where when you were a kid, it was more mature cartoons to make you feel more grown up. It made you feel like okay for like watching like cartoons because, you know, like back in the day, anime is accepted now. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, anime, sure, cool. You watch anime, fine, not my thing, but whatever, you can watch it. But like back when we were in high school,
you were weird.
You were a dork,
or
whatever. You're a freaking nerd or whatever. If you watched anime, it's like this weird thing that just nobody kind of got. Same thing with video games, it's weird if you played video games, but now it's like
the
nerd
coolest
culture
people
is,
play it.
if not in, it's accepted. And so like for me, like some of like my favorite anime spawned off of Toonami. I remember the Outlaw Star, man, is one of my favorite series. And that got introduced to me through Toonami.
That's so good. I
Yeah.
love that game.
Yeah,
That should be an actual game. They should turn that into
that would be amazing.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I'd really
Also-
like a movie. That'd be a great
We
movie.
already got it. It's called it's a little thing called Joss Whedon's Firefly / Serenity.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so similar.
I can't
So
Joss
similar.
Whedon
Yeah.
was saying like never seen it before, but it's such a coincidence. There's so many similarities. It's
Yeah.
crazy. What about you guys? Tsunami memories.
You go first, Andrew. I gotta think about some of these.
Dang. Well, me and Joseph used to like get home from school and we knew it was on. We knew what time it started. We knew like we had our schedule, right? And it was as soon as we would sit down to watch it, we got our block, we're gonna do this. My mom would come in and totally block the entire situation. She would just be like, no, you can't watch this. You need to go outside and play with your friends. We don't have any friends.
Goku's my friend, darn it!
God.
Sailor Moon is my only girlfriend.
Exactly. And like Sailor Moon would come on and me and Joseph would look at each other and we'd be like, and my mom would come in and she would see, what is this?
Solo
She would
pan
freak
up
out.
body. Yeah, as she
Freak out
transforms.
about
As
it.
notorious
Yeah.
as anime is for that.
Oh yeah, and they're like 13, so
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah.
One thing, like real quick, I thought was really cool, really got me in the mood. If anyone remembers, just the intros to the shows, not like the anime like intros that are like actually part of the
Where
shows.
Tom
we didn't
has
get
them
those.
playing.
Yeah, we got these cool montage of like clips from the show played with like techno music, and it was like edited to like
Yeah.
be all really slick, and it just really made me pumped.
Oh,
And
it
I
was.
always, every time like I'd get the DVD, like I got the Outlaw Star DVD, and while now I've seen that more than I saw it on Toonami, I associate with that intro. But when I first like heard it or saw it, I was always like, man, I wish I could have that awesome like intro that Toonami had with Bob, and just like that sweet music and the cut together clips.
Yeah, I think my favorite anime though.
Hamtaro.
Yeah, that was probably the only time I probably changed channels. I was
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I'll come back to Toonami.
It's a bit much.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, dude.
Yu Yu Hakusho and
Oh,
Gundam
wow.
Wing, Zoids. Those are my
So good.
yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Big O.
Oh.
I really liked Big O. I thought it was so different. I thought that it was so cool, even though it was like old school, like slow moving robots. I still like the style of it. I thought it was different. I like the jazz score that they had. I thought it was really cool. It was like film noir a little bit. I don't know. It was
Cowboy Bebop.
Oh yeah, man. Cowboy Bebop. If anyone's interested, which I might be, I don't know what. I just dropped money on Xbox, so I don't know if I need to be spending any more money. But like, Outlaw Star is like on sale on Blu-ray, the entire series at Best Buy for like $20. or something
Whoa.
like that. It's really good. So
Are you serious?
yeah, it's a really good deal.
Wow.
I might have to indulge. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, cool. I mean, those were good memories, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I can't do it again. Anime is out there all over the place. You just go online, stream it. It's all over Hulu and Netflix. But back then we needed it. We didn't have the high-speed internet to stream it. That was the only place for it, really.
Yeah,
Unless
I mean,
you went out.
Toonami was what brought it over and
Yeah.
made it what it is today.
Unless you like went out and paid like big bucks as a kid for like, the VHS or like DVD of these animes, that was where you were gonna watch it for the most part, unless you were just really deep into it.
Or the mangas were really probably what most people started off on.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh, let's read it.
Yeah, but cool. Shout out to Toonami. All right, couple gaming news things. I didn't put this on here, but one thing I thought was really cool. This is a really neat piece of gaming / nerd history here. There was a discovery made by this kid and his father who had a job working for Sony as I think like a maintenance person, and was made to like throw out a lot of tech and old stuff in this guy's office. One of the developers are I think, or one of the heads of Sony, and came across a machine and decided to keep it. This machine is a fusion of PlayStation or / Sony console with the Super Nintendo. I know if you're like, what in the world? There's some history behind this actually that I didn't know a little bit about before this discovery was made. Back in the day, the Super Nintendo wanted to make a CD add-on for the Super Nintendo. Believe it or not, just like the Sega Genesis did with the Sega CD. They were making deals with like certain electronic companies. They made a deal with Philips, but that fell through, and that's actually why when the Philips made the Philips CDI, they were actually able to retain some rights, and that's why you have a Zelda, like 3 Zelda games on the CDI, which are terrible, and a Mario game, which is also terrible, and nobody cares or knows about, and rightfully so. But they also talked to Sony during this. They were trying to make a console with Sony, and that fell through. Apparently, Nintendo was very hard to work with. Go figure. But the console that came out of that, obviously, this is Sony PlayStation. And so, unless this is a fake, which some people believe it to be, but the photo / video, there's video of this, is very convincing. It's very detailed, and it even has like the aging on it, like the like, you know, those. The Super Nintendo like aged in a way where like the plastic would yellow, and it has that going on. It's just really fascinating. It has the CD drive as well as the cartridge drive on top, and so it's wild. And that thing is going, if they're allowed to sell it, which I think they probably will be, it's going to go for crazy money, probably get auctioned off somewhere. But it's wild. It's just crazy that this like prototype was found. It's just a really odd time in history where people were just trying a bunch of crazy stuff. Weird partnerships were made. And the funny thing is like thinking about it, like, how would this have changed gaming today if this was actually allowed to go through? It's
Nintendo would probably be in a much higher like category had it come out with the CD game before PlayStation did.
Yeah, because like infamously, cartridge-based gaming it was way more expensive to make. That's why there weren't that many games for the Nintendo 64 by like third-party developers, because it was just way more cheaper to develop a game on a CD. And so like they were like really stubborn by like sticking with cartridge-based games. They were like, we're doing cartridge, and they didn't even go with a normal CD even when the GameCube came around. They're really big on not using like. Even like now, it's like a Blu-ray disc, but not really. It's like adapted to fit like the Wii U. And so they're always weird when it comes to that stuff, but really interesting. I'd like to look at that. I'd like to see it running. Apparently it came with like an unmarked cartridge and an unmarked disc, but like apparently like he's having trouble like getting a power cord for it, which seems weird to me, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it might come out as a fake in the next couple weeks. But either way, interesting story nonetheless. I had to bring this up. Have any of you guys seen the No Man's Sky gameplay footage from IGN? Dude,
I didn't get to see it.
Yep.
Freaking floored for that game, Andrew. That game is what I want. I want it on this is gonna be like one of the few games that I'm really looking forward to that I download digitally, because I want that as my game that I'm like, oh man, I'm tired. I just got home from work. I'm about to go to bed. I'll play this game for like 30 minutes to an hour. Just fly around a little bit, go to a planet, go to another planet. I don't know.
Investigate a little.
A little. All right, good.
It looks kind of like a little bit too good, you know?
Right?
Yeah.
It's too good to be true. It's like, it makes me question it. Like, how can this be real? But apparently it is. Yeah.
You can interact with almost everything, and it looks like the interplanetary aspects are just, I don't want a loading screen to go to a different planet. I just want to be able to go there.
Oh my gosh.
Get in the ship and just take off and like experience the like trembling going through the atmosphere. It just looks ridiculous. Really.
It really is mind blowing, and I'm beyond curious as to what's going to become of this game when it comes out. What if it's, you know, half of what it says it is, what community is going to form around this game? How many different roles? Because I know like he's talking about roles and all the things you can do during that like gameplay thing, and it's like these are like things that like are set, but in a game like Minecraft, it's like people are using their imagination. Like this is a funny thing. I play Minecraft with like these 3 people online, Josh and RJ and Rachel. And the funny thing is like we all do different things. Like I'm a builder. I build houses. I'm all about building my castle or whatever. And Josh, he's all about finding rare items. RJ, he's all about exploring. He goes around doing all sorts of stuff. And Rachel, she's all about making her garden amazing. And so, yeah, so it's like really funny. And like I'm wondering like what kind of stories like that are we gonna get from a game like this where you can do so much. But
I feel like for the developers, it's literally just going to be a job all the time. Like, oh, what are you doing? You know, I'm going to go work. And they go on computer and they're just working on the world.
yeah.
I was like, how else do you keep up with a game like this?
Well, the thing about that is it's does it itself. It's procedurally generated based on an algorithms and math that's behind the scenes. And that blows me away that they have to keep things running, I'm sure, but they don't have to like, oh crap, I need to make another planet or anything like that.
AI game. It's doing all the work itself.
Yeah, the planet's there. They don't have to go in there and be like, oh crap. And so like all the like endless math for there to be like all sorts of different variables, like thousands and thousands of variables, all interchanging is so many possibilities. Crazy. And it freaks me out. It scares me. It really does. I've always said it reminded me of Tron Legacy, where like Jeff Bridges is doing that speech. He's like, whatever, out there is our future. Out there is our destiny. Like, that's how they sound when they talk about this game, and it's so weird. But
I mean, it's going to be rivaling Destiny. I feel like with the way it is and the way it's growing, and just the following Destiny has. I feel like this will be kind of like, oh, Destiny. Oh, wait, No Man's Skies. Go.
So. Yeah, exactly. Anyways, just an update on that. I am crossing my fingers because, like, at first I was like, this is definitely 2016. This is coming out probably late 2016. But just seeing how much of this is done and how much of it they're showing, and the fact that they're doing an IGN first, which usually happens a few months before the game releases, which is weird. Maybe it might come out because Sony has nothing. No exclusives. They have a lot of third-party games for sure, but nothing exclusive other than like the Dream Collection for like Christmas. And Xbox has a lot. And so wouldn't this be an ace in the hole?
Oh,
if say they said this game is free. If they said that and like they were like it's free to play or whatever, you can go ahead and download this as a PlayStation Plus free game. That would be crazy. That would sell systems. I think so.
Yeah.
If I didn't own one already, I would be like, okay, yep, that's for me. But
Christmas.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who are intending to buy a next gen console, that will be the thing that pushes them over the edge to Sony. I think that would be a brilliant thing. If I don't know what they'd have to do. I know that like Hello Games, the studio behind it, is definitely in Sony's pocket in some way. How I know they're putting the big bucks. They're like, hey, come on, little guy.
Hey,
come on, get on stage, show your game. But who knows? I'm excited about it.
It's a funny thought.
Speaking of the unknown, the Nintendo NX is another mysterious console. Maybe just as mysterious as that Sony Nintendo console.
Yep.
Not much is known about it at all, but still these rumors persist that keep floating around out there about like things that are saying about it mixed with things that people hear about it. It was a rumor for a while that it was going to be running off of Android OS, but Nintendo shut that down quickly. Now they're making statements that makes it sound like it's pretty clearly a home console based on something Reggie said. And strange things that they always say. They keep saying like we're not here to compete with the other consoles, which usually scares me, which I'm always disagreeing with, which I'm like, why?
You can't
do
say
it.
That.
Whether you like it or not, I'm sorry, you are competing with those other consoles. I'm sorry, wake up. If you're in a business running along someone else and there's money out there to be spent on potentially your product, but it's being spent on someone else's who are competing in the same game. I'm sorry, you are competing.
McDonald's. It's like, oh, we don't need to be organic. People love our food. Now McDonald's is facing some of its serious downtreads since who knows when. It's like people want good, healthy, organic food.
You need to adapt. Like, that's the thing. Nintendo needs to adapt. And so, like, in the midst of like this whole stuff, there's no telling when they're going to announce it. The rumor is that the big rumor, I think it's pretty unlikely, but they're saying release date of 2016. They're going to see it on the shelves, and that sounds crazy to me that it would be out that soon.
With the Wii U that just came out.
Yeah, and it's wild that that system, the Wii U, is going down in a way where they're saying they're pretty much putting it to rest. Like, you never will ever hear Nintendo talk badly about their own console while it's out. But Miyamoto made some statements like saying like, yeah, talking about mistakes retrospectively, which I agree with, saying like the tablet probably wasn't a good idea, saying because we were trying to catch on to something that I had no idea how fast the quality of tablets would rise and how cheaply they'd be made and would at better quality later on, and how much everyone would have. We thought a tablet would be something special still, and we were wrong. And it's crazy to hear that, because they're technically still trying to sell these things. And stuff like that does make me think maybe they are pushing out something next year. What would you? I don't think we've talked about this really, but what would you like to see them do with this console?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say, because I feel like they're not in the same league as Xbox and PlayStation 4. So it's kind of, I don't know what to expect from them. What I expect from them are their fun, like, I feel like Nintendo is a console for like group family games. Like when you and your friends get together and you just want to play a laid back game, even though, I'm sorry, you play Mario Party with your friends, it's still going to be pretty intense.
Yeah.
It's just how it is. But overall, it's like, the games are more geared towards your family, playing it with your family and friends. But the problem is now is families are playing Call of Duty, all of these new
third-party games.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's like Nintendo, I feel like Nintendo's almost kind of losing their spot in the video game world.
Yeah. And it's like they made a system that is very hard to develop for. And so games that they make for it are extraordinarily good. Mario Kart 8 and Smash Bros. Are amazing. And the funny thing is like, they were like, well, we'll get by just on those. I'm sorry. Those games did really well. But if they can't make your system sell, and that's your first party stuff, nothing can. If you're just going to rely on first party stuff, you have to have a system that's easy to develop for, and something that can win the third parties over, or else it's going to be all for naught. Go back to the basics.
Yeah. Because I mean, with Zelda, I mean, that's about their next big game that would help sell systems. I mean, exactly, it's like what happens after that? What else do you have?
That's it. I think that's the last gasp. I think Zelda is going to be it, and I think it's going to pull a Twilight Princess and be like, you know how it was. It got delayed, and then it was released on the GameCube and the Wii U, or the Wii, the original Wii, simultaneously upon release. I think that's probably the smart thing to do. They're probably, why it got delayed is because they realized that, and they had to probably rework things that could only be done with the Wii U gamepad. Yeah. So they probably had to take that out. I'd like to see backwards compatibility, just to show a show of good faith to the Wii U owners who had such a short lifespan. Yeah. I think they should make the tablet compatible with the NX just so they can play it, their old Wii U games. And I can't imagine that being extraordinarily difficult. I mean, but who knows? It might be. I don't know. But anyways, I think we're just going to continue. That was just needless speculation. There's not a lot of ground here, but I feel like we haven't talked about it that much, and we're just having a little bit more to talk about, which back in the day when it was first announced, was legitimately nothing. We didn't even know if it was going to be a phone, for all we knew.
That is true. Didn't
know. It's clearly not that, I would say. But Andrew, do you have a gaming question for us?
Yes. Okay, this is a question that I feel like maybe me and Carrie can dig into a little bit. And Jordan, you'll say something, I'm sure. But so I've noticed, and this could just be like in our group, but sports games. Let's talk about sports games for a second. You know, there used to be an era where sports games were like, you got to get the new Madden. You've got to get the new Madden. It's so good. You know, did you see the graphics? They're unreal. And then, like, over the past few years, you know, they really don't get a whole lot of play. They don't get a whole lot of hype. And the question I have is, what can EA and all these different developers that are putting out these sports games do to revamp and re-excite gamers about sports games?
I'll admit, I think sports games have their following. The problem is people just, I mean, they depreciate in value like almost instantly after like a month. And also what's going on in the world. I mean, FIFA, since what was the last World Cup, I mean, FIFA's just been amazing. Everyone wants to play soccer games. Soccer's just blowing up over here. I mean, U.S. women's soccer destroys Japan. That was a crazy game. But I mean, FIFA to me is like, that's the sports game. Like before, It used to be, like you said, Madden or NBA or 2K, whatever they had. But I mean, now, I mean, a lot of my friends still talk about those games. They're like, yeah, man, can't wait for the new 2K or Madden to come out. But then it's like after a week or a month, they're kind of done and they've either traded the game in or they just don't touch it ever again. So I don't really know if there's something they can do to revamp it, because I feel like it depends a lot on what's going on in society at the time.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Do you think, like, with the way that the games are moving, like with downloadable content and different things, that they're just going to start putting out games that they're sending yearly like upgrade packs or something, to where the content is just constantly refreshing and renewing, and the players are getting traded live as they're traded in like reality? And maybe something where fantasy sports meet like meet this like kind of organic game experience where you're getting I don't know. I feel like the online game world should do something to really drive like your experience more.
I actually think that's an inspired idea, Andrew.
Yeah.
I think that's how it should be, because, like, as Carrie said, these games depreciate in value so fast, which is going to make it really hard for more people to spend $60 on a game that they know that in 6 months will be worth 15 or 10.
Yep.
And so, like, to have it to where they're releasing the content online instead of releasing a full actual release and saying, if they're, player updates or anything like that, saying, here's this $20 pack, you're getting all this stuff, and do it like every few months, that would be financially beneficial for for EA at least. And I think like maybe a little bit less of a headache for the gamer too. I mean, like, just to have one game per console generation that's living and breathing. I mean, other than just an annually. I mean, I know people just get sick of annual games being like, as if it's a yearly bill. If you're a fan of the franchise, getting billed $60 per year to play the franchise you want. I don't know.
Well, it's kind of a marketing thing as well, because I mean, you got to think about it. Whatever athlete is doing very well that year, they're going to be on that cover. So it's kind of like a promotion for them, and to sell the product as well. It's like, yeah, hi, blah blah blah's on the cover, because that's what a lot of people say too. They're like, oh man, blah blah's on the cover, gotta get the game, and things like that. So I mean, I feel like it's not just about gaming when it comes to Madden or EA games in general. The other thing about EA games is the style of play changes. I wouldn't even say changes. I feel like they just recycle. So they'll be like, oh yeah, this year we're coming out with this feature. It's like, actually, that was on the game like 4 or 5 years ago. You just took it out and you put it back in.
This year,
exactly. Yeah. So that's having it, the whole internet and online feature, that's great, but that's the whole thing that they need to lock down on. They need to find a style, or at least one basic concept that they'll stick with. And that's the problem. They change it so frequently and every so often that's why I feel like the online would be difficult until they figure out what is the general populace that everyone likes, and that they would features and everything and style of play, because even the controls change varying. So I mean, it's really just saying kind of a guessing game and a waiting game to find out if, because it would be cheaper. It's a better idea doing it online, I feel like, and the whole updating rosters. And I feel like they could implement a lot for fantasy players as well. So I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think as far as, it's marketing themselves, find a way to speak to the people who are your actual audience. Like, don't blow all your money on E3. Like, I'm sorry, but your audience isn't there. At least most of them aren't there. Most of your audience is watching sports. I'm sorry, the people who play sports games usually are there watching sports. Hit that hard with the advertisement. Don't pay Pele to go to E3 just to have him on stage so people can stare aimlessly into the void while they wait for Star Wars Battlefront to come
Who's
up.
that guy?
Exactly. Who's this guy? Who's this guy talking? Show me Battlefront. Come on, show me Mirror's Edge. And the people who are actually at E3, I'm sure they're talking more to their shareholders and something like that there. But whatever. I don't know. But good question. I wonder often too. It's like, because each year you just see it Madden after Madden after Madden, and so forth for NBA 2K or whatever it is. But
FIFA's where it's at right now.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. And they are adding the I know, I'm surprised I know this too, but they are adding the female team, the girls team now. And so that's a big deal for a lot of people, especially if you say like they're doing so well. I'm sure that's a good move on their part. And that might, bring some people over, possibly. But yeah, good question, Andrew.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's our show. We're going to get out of here, and then we're going to go over to our Terminator podcast and tell you what you think about that reboot / sequel. I don't know. We'll talk all about it. But, yeah, Carrie, Andrew, great talking with you, of course, as always. If you guys want to check us out, we're on Twitter. You can follow us at MTGPod, or on Facebook.com/MTGPodcast, or on Instagram at MTGPodcast. Also subscribe to our page on YouTube, like our videos, share them with your friends. Tell your friends about us. If you enjoy us, please share us with someone. Say, hey, you like movies, TV, and games, or either any one of those three things. Listen to this podcast or listen to a spoiler cast or whatever. But thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah,
we love you, and we'll see you another day.